must know who you are.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. This video is just a quick updated version of my TBR game that I created, and I am still tweaking it and adding cards and things like that. And I'm going to go through the rules, and then I'm going to go and show you guys each individual piece on the board and some of the cards that I have. I'm still working on cards, so there'll be add-ins and takeaways and things like that. But I got this idea from both Becca from Becca Books, her Bookopoly board, and Cody's Corner with her Wheel of TBR. I thought they were like super creative and artsy, and I'll have another video up above of me like first going through the board and stuff if you want to check that out. If you are new to this channel, hi, because there are a lot of new people in the community. And if you're an old subscriber, I hope you have a wonderful new year. Like 2020 was hard on everyone. So let's get into these rules. So the way that I set up, so I have a dice app that I use because I don't have dice, and the number of rolls are the people who mean a lot to me, their birthday. So like for January, I have 3 rolls unless I DNF a book, and then I add 4 as like a punishment. Not really like a punishment, but it's just a rollover. The minimum number of 4 rolls, max number is 8 rolls this year. Each year is different. Last year was 10 and I didn't reach 10. I think the max I hit was like maybe 5, and that was in November. Prompts may overlay, and when I get into the cards you'll kind of see, not double, they can't double, so I can't pull the same prompt, or I have to pull 2 cards from my challenge and dare pile, which you'll see coming up. So I'm trying to get more into readathons, and so I'm going to try and match up the cards to readathons, but if they don't match, then I'll just go based off of the readathon prompt. As I said, if I pull like a double card, like if the card that I land on, then that is a double, and I got this idea from like Becca, and I thought it was a really good idea. So that I will pull 2 cards from my challenge and dare piles. And the new thing that I have now is the rollover. So if I'm starting a book and I don't finish it for that month, I will roll it over. If I haven't started it, nor if I didn't finish it, or haven't started it, then that adds a roll. I said that in the beginning, but I'm just going to reiterate that because it's yes. But a book can be rolled over if I've read up to page 25. So it kind of like is that 50-page DNF, like how far you can get in before you're like, this book sucks. So that is the written rules. They're not like really hard. I don't have that many like punishments because last year I did a book buying ban and I didn't buy any books for 2020. Like I want to do a video. I'm going to do a video that covers like how I made it through, because I still have books to read, and NetGalley, thank God, and Kindle Unlimited. Okay, so let's get started. So there's a start here. There is no like direction you can start. So you can go that way or you can go this way. But I'm going to go through most of the cards, if not all of them. A lot of them are doubled in the challenge and the dare piles. So I haven't added any new pictures just yet. I plan on doing that possibly like later in the year. So stay tuned for that. So a lot of these are pictures from shows I like, or movies and things like that. So if you see something that's like, oh, like Steven Universe or anime, don't think I'm like selling this. I'm not. I do plan on making one to possibly sell, but that's like way later in the year. So okay, so we're just gonna go through all the ones that aren't very direct, which are, I guess, all of them. So for Patience, this is Sapphire from Steven Universe, and a predicted 5-star read on either Amazon or Goodreads. Charlie, my dog, would pick, you know, like how everybody's doing like the treats, like whatever book, whichever treat he like goes to, that's the book I'll read. And that goes for, where's the other dog? For Kuma picks. This might be like upside down, and I am gonna go back around to like show each one. So Black Girl Magic is a book written by a black female author, or the main character is a black female. And some of these I had help with Noria from Chronicles of Noria. I believe she changed her channel name to that. She helped me with the Pride prompt in the Pride book. So I would read a book with the LGBT plus within it. And Conversation. This is also Steven Universe. This is Garnet. Read a romance. And the reason why I put Conversation is there's like a song that was just like one of my favorites. And Black Lives Matter. This was also in my January TBR, and a lot of people asked me, why is it in white even though it says Black Lives Matter? It wasn't necessarily like the color that was important. I wanted to make sure that it stood out, and I didn't know what color I wanted the board, but I knew I wanted this to stand out. So it wasn't like, oh, I decided to just, you know, do it white just because it was, you know, kind of thought out, wanted to make sure it popped. So Forget Me Not, there's a lot of Steven Universe on here, guys. And finish a series, which is Blue Diamond, and this is from the Steven movie. Why can't I think of her name? Starts with the Spinell. So older book on a TBR for Forget Me Not, finish a series. This is only if I've already started the series. And then we have to go back to start, and then, you know, you start again. I kind of tried to do my own rendition of everything, so I'm not like an artist or anything, but, you know, I tried. So the Scarlet Letter, read a book that begins with A, which is actually surprisingly hard. You'd be surprised. Read a classic. This is Ruby from Steven Universe, and just read a book with a red cover, pretty much. Buttons, I got this idea from Coraline and the Scary Family. Devour, read a gold book, and this is from Spirited Away. I'm not sure if some of you guys haven't seen the movie. I don't know anyone who hasn't seen it, but yeah, this is No Face from Spirited Away. Okay, Corrupted. These are the kings from Lord of the Rings. It's not as obvious for everybody. And a group of villains. And this is the Pull the Dare card, which was in my January TBR, where you pull a dare card, and then if it's even, if this lands on an even number, then you pull two, and that's 2 prompts separate. So I have the lose a turn and double on the last prompt. So if the last prompt was pull a dare card, then I pull 2 more cards. So you follow the prompt again. So whatever the prompt was, you do it again. So if it landed on villains corrupted, and it had, let me just pull a card from one of these decks. Let's say challenge. And it says with the green cover. So it would, you would just double that. So I had to find 2 books. Kind of hard. Like, maybe I should have did like a voiceover thing. I don't know. Whatever. So we have a retelling, any type. So I read a lot of alien romance and manga and manhwa and stuff. And they do quite a few retellings. So read a springtime book. pretty much any book with a flower on it. I wasn't trying to be very specific with that, and I felt like the flower I found on Pinterest was like pretty cool. Self-care, be happy, Steven Universe. Pretty much if I'm not excited to read a book, I can drop it. And Kuma, which is like just like the Charlie Pigs with my dog. Conquer, read a book with royalty, and that's Yellow Diamond. Medusa, woman or snake on the cover. Like some of these are pretty straightforward. And go back to start. Which, you go back to start. And then Thriller, which is like kind of like the Michael Jackson Thriller cover. I really liked that. So read a thriller, read a book with a green cover, a tome. So I have also a card that says Gluttony. And so these, although they say like over 300, and for you that may not be a tome, but they're all different for everyone. So that's why I have one that's like read a book over 900 pages, 7, and they're all, different pictures and stuff. So apocalyptic book. I got this from Tipo. It's on Netflix, a show on Netflix. And I was like, oh, she's so cool. She's one of the, she's the main character's like friend. And I was like, oh, I love that. So, The Reaper, read a book about the dead. Voodoo, a Southern book. So Voodoo is kind of hard for me sometimes because I don't have a book that's like Southern. So it's like hoodoo voodoo kind of thing. That's why it's the Southern book. And last for the board is The Soldier, which is the Saga of Tanya the Evil, which is an anime and light novel that I'm like obsessed with. And read a book with war in it. So some of these that are in my challenge deck that are not on the boardwalk. And I got this idea from Becca's Bookopoly, and I absolutely like watch every one of her videos, and I recommend checking her out. So I also like Shakespeare too, so you'll see like some Shakespeare stuff in here. So Othello, read a book recommended, read a book with the blue cover, pink, orange, red, yellow. Start a readathon, read a book with food on the cover, Monster Mash, read a book with the classic monster, and then like this is kind of what I was talking about with the tomes. Although I could have put like Monster Mash, I wanted it to be a bit different just in case, I wanted to make these into like shirts or something later. So I have the classic monster, the Cyclops, which is more like mythology, Greek and stuff, and then the classic zombie lady. So there was that, and then I wanted to make sure I did some like fun pictures. So donut, the unicorn, like on a coffee kick. Some of these are like grouped to where like I'm still gonna do quite a few, and don't come for me and my arts and crafts skills cutting these things out. It was ridiculously hard. So read a book with a beautiful cover. Ophelia, read a romantic tragedy, which I don't read too many of. Okay, so these are some of my dare cards. I still have a lot to kind of print off and everything like that. So we'll start with Stuff of Nightmares, Fog, read a book with a gray cover. Rainy Day, read a book with dark gray, yellow, blue on the cover. Read a book with 2 perspectives. Read a buddy read. I don't know if anyone else had played that game, but so this is read a book with the animal on the cover. And about a pet cemetery. Even though like that movie gave me nightmares for like binge read, 24 hours. Read a book with a skull on the cover. A book that's been gifted. And these are what I'm talking about when I didn't, I was like, read with, or read a book with. A book written by 2 authors. Relatives pick. Read a book with women on the cover. Have a space opera novel. A book set in another country. So I have so many booktubers I watch that if I have the book that they are like raving about, then I'll just like make a note of it. So this is also like the Black Girl Magic, but it's more specific to having a person of color, not just a black girl, a person of color as the main character. So audiobook, Gluttony, which is kind of like the tone. So if like I pulled this card for tone, I would add the numbers together, and that's the number of pages I would have to read in that book, or that book has to be that number of pages. And then read a trilogy. So that's it for this video. If you like my channel and you're looking for a new booktuber to follow, hit subscribe, bell for notifications. I am going to have a schedule down. I'm not going to say like what my schedule is because that's committing to something that I'm not ready to yet. And I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon.